everyone, and welcome to the new and improved UG Diaries, the show where we highlight aspiring and accomplished undergrad researchers. I'm Katie from the Rex production crew, and to kick off this new season, today I'm chatting with Hong Yi, an NUS medicine graduate, and currently he's working at NUH. So during his undergrad study, he did his research on advancing hepatocellular carcinoma diagnosis and treatment, and he's won his distinguished undergraduate research prize for his impactful work. Okay, so hi Hong Yi, thanks for coming for this podcast today. Well, just how are you feeling today?
Not too bad. It's been a pretty busy day in the wards. So currently I'm a neurology house officer in National University Hospital. I'm about 6 months into my first year in housemanship. So housemanship is basically like, a junior doctor position after you graduate from medical school. So it's quite hectic, but I would say it's pretty fulfilling.
Yeah, that's very fantastic to hear, actually. Well, maybe you can share a little bit about like how your studies in NUS related to your work or...
Oh, sure. Okay. So maybe I'll just go from the very beginning, just to give you guys a little bit of an introduction. So I'm Hong Yi. I'm previously from the Yonglin School of Medicine. I matriculated in 2019. So previously I finished my A-levels around 2016 and did 2 years of NS. Was given a choice with this job, but I decided to just carry on with my NS and move on to medical school afterwards. Matriculated in 2019. Started doing more of the basic sciences in year 1 and 2. That's part of our curriculum. That was when I got more interested in research, but not in any particular field yet. So I decided to just, try different things out. And then moving on to my senior years in medical school, I decided to move my focus of research more towards gastrointestinal diseases. And in year 4, I made a pivotal decision to take up this intercalated year program, which our school offered, which is a program that that the school sort of introduces in between our 4th and 5th year. So our curriculum is a traditional 5-year curriculum in medical school. So between our 4th and 5th year, we had this special Masters of Science program for some students who are interested. So I happened to be one of them, and I was fortunate to be accepted. So during that year, I studied quite exclusively on hepatocellular carcinoma, or primary liver cancer. Yeah.
So I think one question that I think I and a lot of like undergraduate students would want to know about is like, how was your experience during your UROP program, and is there any particular moment that you feel like you're excited about when you're doing the project?
Well, definitely. So I think first of all, the UROP is a great opportunity to get students exposed to different projects. I had the pleasure of meeting my mentor, through connections from the school, and I think that's a very, very important first step: finding the right person to work with, someone who can mentor you, someone who can also be a good friend, a good listening ear. Yeah. So throughout my whole research, I felt very supported, and not just emotionally, spiritually. I think along the way during the research, there was a lot of practical steps that my mentor really, really helped me out a lot. I have 2 mentors actually. I'm very fortunate. One of them is a renowned liver cancer expert. His name is Professor P.S. Chow from the National Cancer Centre Singapore. And the other one of them is also a world-renowned expert in cardiology, specifically in cardiology, genetics, epigenetics. And he also helped me out a lot, specifically in the molecular aspects of my project. So having 2 mentors, so his name is Professor Roger Fu from the Cardiovascular Research Lab in NUS. So having these 2 mentors to guide me along my research project was really, really one of the most fulfilling points in my research journey so far. And I'm very fortunate to be under their guidance, under the team members' guidance. And UROP is a big part, because it gives us access to valuable mentors, resources, research funding as well, which is crucial for us to be successful in our research.
Do you still keep in touch with the mentors during your research?
Absolutely. I keep in very close contact with my mentors. Yeah. So they are extremely approachable, which I'm very, very thankful for. So, if there's any questions, be it related to the project or sometimes even personal questions like, hey, how do I navigate this tricky situation? I'm feeling a little bit stressed, these days. What can I do? Do you have any advice? They're all very nice and approachable, and they are also, very kind, and they, involve us in festivals like Christmas or like any major lab events. We have gatherings. So, yeah, they're really amazing people. So it's important to find a great mentor. Yeah.
Yep, that's very nice to hear. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of students would also love to make more connections and
Absolutely.
expand the network when they're doing this kind of research.
Yeah.
So is there any time when you feel like challenging or any challenge during your time doing the research?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like when I got started, I would say I would like to divide my challenges into several fronts. I think first of all, the knowledge front, second of all, the experience, and thirdly, the logistical aspect of the research. So speaking from the knowledge point of view, initially when I embarked on this research in hepatocellular carcinoma epigenetics, it was a very molecular biology heavy topic. So coming from a medical school background, where we focus mainly on on diseases, the human body, more of a macro kind of picture. Going down to the molecular things, may not be our niche, and not my niche, to say the least. So I had to do a lot of reading initially, being independent, actually digging up textbooks, reading up papers, and doing a deep literature search, and also going on YouTube as well to learn and pick up, the basic fundamental knowledge. Then subsequently, what was limiting significantly in my repertoire was the experience. I don't have the the experienced hands of many of my postdocs who are very proficient in the lab doing experiments. When I first started out, I didn't even know how to use a pipette, so I had to learn everything from scratch, learn everything fast. Fortunately, I had really, really good mentors that are, working very close with me in the lab, very friendly postdocs as well. So I, managed to pick things up pretty quickly under their mentorship. And also, it takes quite a bit of hard work, to be honest. But I think for anything in life, you do definitely have to put in some effort and initiative with them. And the next thing that comes along would be, once you have your knowledge, your experience, you gotta have the right materials and resources and everything. So and you need to have the right people as well to guide you. So the last constraint or the challenge would be the logistical part. So having all these necessary materials in place, coming at the right time within the time limit of your research project is something that we have to plan ahead. So I did quite a lot of planning on that part. Well, I also had to get funding also. Had to approach my mentors who are very supportive, and finding the right people who can work with me for example, a certain lab technique, or maybe analyzing the data that are generated from the lab. So people who are skilled in these areas, people I have to approach individually. So so mainly the knowledge initially, followed by the practical aspects, and then finally the logistical part to execute, whatever you have to do for your research.
Yeah, that's a very comprehensive responses. And well, actually, with all those challenges and hard working that you had to overcome, when you see the results are coming together and they really meet your expectations, how do you feel about that?
Oh yes, sweetest feeling. Yeah, because initially when I started, I really ran into a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges, and initially it was really tough because I had a lot of setbacks. Results were not ideal. My experiments kept failing, but that never stopped me from trying and trying again. So the more I tried, the more I figured things out, and the more experience I gain, and the better I get. So the process of growth essentially made me feel like everything was worth it, and I was fortunate to be able to generate some useful and meaningful results, and publish a paper or two, and also had at the end of my research term completed a thesis. So it's a really rewarding journey, and something that I will never forget in my life, and I'm sure the skills would be with me as I progress along my career, and it's going to be very useful in the near future.
Yeah. So when you first enter university, right? plan to do UROP program at first place?
Oh, to be honest, no. I've never heard of Europe until, in year one, when I got more interested in research and I just wanted to find out, how I can be supported in NUS and what are the opportunities. So, research wasn't the first thing in my mind when I came to NUS. It was just something that, being in NUS, the research culture is so strong. I had, positive peer influences. My mentors were encouraging me to try something out. So, I stepped in and I never looked back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also something that like generate the motivations for students to like join research, right? Yeah. Is there anything else that you think might, spark the interest for students who have no like initial motivation or initial interest to join your program?
Right. So your question is probably, how do we get students motivated to participate in research and ultimately, try out for UROP, is that correct? Yeah. So I think to start out, being interested in research, it has to be intrinsic. I think it's important to find out why you want to do research and what is the purpose and reason behind it. Because doing research is a long and arduous journey. It's not for the faint-hearted who just wants to try something out for fun. Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of setbacks, a lot of things you need to learn from the very beginning. And so I would say you need to find a purpose. Like the purpose can be very simple. Like you want to improve something, and that particular thing can be, just a small aspect in whatever field you work in. Yeah. So, if it contributes and you feel that it will improve certain processes, like for example, in my field, like advanced liver cancer, we don't have like a definitive treatment till this day. So I feel that, by contributing to the body of knowledge, understanding the epigenetics, which is, one of the hot areas in this field right now, it really helps, the scientific community and myself to understand the disease better and potentially develop, more targeted treatment for advanced liver cancer. So this is something that, brings quite a lot of fulfillment to my point of view. But I think everybody has their own interest and their individual bandwidth. So I think just do what you feel that will benefit yourself in terms of the learning process, and also what can benefit the community if you are able to during your stay doing research in undergrad days.
Definitely. A concern that a lot of students who are planning to like join UROP is that when you're doing research and you're doing UROP, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
It does, yeah.
You also have to like do it alongside with your regular coursework.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then can you share a little bit about how you balance your time management, how you balance your work so that you fulfill all the requirements?
Yeah, I have to be very honest. You got to be extremely focused, extremely intentional, and you have to be extremely purposeful in whatever you choose to do, because every decision you make comes with opportunity cost. So academics is definitely important. Something that, especially in medical school, we have such a heavy curriculum, and lectures are back to back. We have tutorials as well. So so you just got to be very intentional about how you want to spend your time. So every day wake up and you just like make sure you outline the time and slot in, whatever free time that you have to do whatever that you need to do. For me, so back in my time in medical school, most of my free time on weekdays, if I had to do research during that period, I would dedicate it to research. But of course, we're all humans, so we gotta make time for relax and also to do whatever we have to do as humans, and make friends. Go out, spend time with your family. So all these have to be very intentionally planned. If not, before you know it, time passes really quickly, and you wouldn't even know what you have done for a day. So I think structuring your day in a very detailed manner, even to the minute, is extremely important. And being very intentional about what you want to achieve every single day, and you plan it ahead. And of course, you got to have good energy levels, right, to be very focused, because I feel that if you sacrifice, like some people would decide, maybe I'll sleep a little less, maybe I'll do a little less of this for my mental well-being. But at the end of the day, I feel that it's important to also get sufficient rest at night. So bedtime routines, discipline about going to sleep, at regular hours, getting enough sleep is important. Can't emphasize that enough for undergrads as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, of course, to be decisive about your decisions. Like if you feel that something is not worth your time, it's okay. Just don't look back. Just commit to whatever that you believe strongly in, and then you put 100%. Like you don't go in half. Yeah. So it's important. I think it comes down to individual principles on time management. Yeah, so everybody has different approaches, but that was my approach.
Yeah.
And
I think work-life balance is something
absolutely
very important.
Something personal as well. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So during your research project, right, is there any unexpected event or like moment that you never expect that you would have until you come to research?
Unexpected events until I came to research. Well, yeah, like I never thought I would spend time in the lab. Like, prior to doing this epigenetics research in primary liver cancer, I was previously doing some research on systematic reviews, meta-analysis. Something that we can do, behind the computer easily. Most students in medical school, find this sort of research very accessible and flexible within their curriculum and time schedule. But I decided to take time off, like between my 4th and 5th year, to do a dedicated year of molecular research, lab-based, and then subsequently took the data to computational biology, analyze them, did some coding. Yeah, so I never envisioned myself going to this extent. But it was really fulfilling because it really showed me, the scope of research that is available, like, going all the way from the bench, collecting tissue samples, generating molecular data out of it, collecting DNA, isolating them, then studying the epigenetic patterns within these DNAs, and finally analyzing them, making sense out of the genetic data that we collected. I think, going to this extent was really something that was beyond me initially. I didn't really expect myself going into this this area of molecular biology and computational biology. So looking back, there was a lot of very interesting lessons I've learned. It was great. So I would really encourage anyone to just take the leap forward. You never know what you're going to pick up along the way. And there's a lot of useful things, and if you're willing and open-minded to try. Yeah.
Is there any skills that not academically related that you learned from this experience?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I would say scientific communication. Meeting different researchers who are experts in their field. So communication can come in many forms, right? Written form, verbal communication, conference presentations. Can be also artistic, like, through a figure, through a diagram on your paper. So I've learned all these through my research project. I've designed, every single figure in my thesis. And that was a really cool experience because you communicate your messages effectively across, through, one graphical abstract essentially to summarize the key essence of your project. And then you write your paper, which conveys, the details of your significance, your methodology, and your results, and then what you hope for the future, etc. And then finally, you take it to the stage to present it. So I think communication is one of the biggest things in science, because you can do all the science behind the scenes, but if nobody knows what you're doing, then it really limits, the impact of your work. So I think communication is really one of the biggest thing I took away from
I think
experience.
Communication nowadays, like in every sector, in every industry, you need communication.
Absolutely, in healthcare, big thing. Yeah. Okay.
So, is there any advice you want to give to our audiences here who wanted to join the UROP program?
Yeah, for sure. Like my advice would be general advice. It wouldn't be something technical or related to the research. So first things first, I think before you start out on anything, be it research, anything else in life, should always expect that, the start will be arduous. There will be some challenges along the way, setbacks, but they're never failures. Okay, so you would find things not going your way at times. That's okay because you're just starting out. You are learning and you're getting the experience. So the way we get experience is by making mistakes and learning from them. So if you don't get the experiment right on day one, it's okay. Then you just learn from it, get better, come back in day two, and if it fails again, it's all right. Learn from it, come back stronger in day three, and just keep building, and you get better over time. So there's no such thing as failure. You just keep going and get better. So that's number one. Be resilient. Expect that challenges are going to happen and learn something and be better the next time. Okay, life goes on. And then point number two, I would say it will be important to be resourceful. Okay, very early from the get-go, because you need to know who are your who are the people that can help you, and what are the things that you need to support your project, be it the materials or the facilities that you need. And resources can also be things like books that you need to help improve your knowledge, library access to get the papers that you need. So you have to take the initiative to look for all these different avenues to support your research very early on, so that when it's time to get going, you'll be at full speed. You'll be very efficient. Yeah. And the final advice I would give would be to love what you do and do what you love, essentially. Because I think initially, for me at least, I wasn't very sure about the end goal of my research. I was just given a broad topic, and then eventually I did more literature search, found out the significance, and I narrowed it down to one particular focus. So loving what I do means finding out where the significance behind the research that I was doing, and essentially finding meaning to the work I do. And that's what drove me every single day. And then do what I love, because I like learning new things every day. I like discovering potential treatments for diseases. So I wouldn't be starting out the research in the first place if I wasn't interested in this area. So I think it goes both ways. So you really got to like what you do eventually, but at the same time you got to start off doing the things that you interest you, that's something that you like and feel passionate about from the beginning. So motivation gets you started, but consistency and the passion keeps you going all the way to the end.
That's a lot of advice. It's a lot of very helpful advices, and I think our audiences would really be grateful to hear from your experience.
Right, all the best.
All your advice. So maybe to end of this session, let's say, do you have any last words or last thing you want to share to our audiences here?
Well, undergrad life is really short, cherish your time, have fun, do your best. Yeah, I think, just live every single day with meaning, and you will have no regrets at the end of your undergrad lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, because we just have only 4 years undergrad.
It's really short.
Yeah, it's very short. It really, time flies really fast. So
have fun as well. Yeah, don't forget to have fun. Lots of fun. Yeah.
So I'm very happy you have fun with your undergrad.
Oh yeah,
your research program, all those things. And
I did a lot of fun things outside of med school as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and with those experiences, you come here now today as a graduate and US graduate. You share with our audiences, the undergrad students who are looking for to join our UROP program, and I think that's something that you want to keep up and continue in the future. So you have the people and graduate people, alumni, to share for our students and motivate them to join the project.
Yes. I'm sure the school leaders would be pleased if you take up some research and be proficient at it, or maybe learn some new skills, take it to the workforce, or even come back to NUS and contribute. I think that will be very meaningful.
Yeah, sure. So, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yes, my pleasure.
Today, it's a very productive sessions, and definitely, I think that our audiences, even if they are planning to join the research or not, they definitely learn something from your experiences.
All right.
Yeah, that's what
happy to share as well.
Well, this is the end of our session today, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And we hope that you learned something from our sessions, and we hope that after today's episode, you will want it and be motivated to join UROP program in the future.
Yay.
Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes for UG Diaries. Thank you.
Let's go, UROP.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.